In this lecture, we will see the amoeboid movement with the help of this soul and gel theory. According to this soul and gel theory, how the amoeboid movement is carried out with the help of pseudopodia, that is extension of cell at the particular region where the animal want to go or want to creep with the attaching to the substratum, and this movement is called as the soul gel theory. This theory was first advocated by the scientist Jaime and later on supported by Pantene in 1923 and Mast in 1930, in which they stated that the solution get converted into the gel and gel is going to convert into the solution, and with the help of this the individual can form the pseudopodia as well as it can retract back, and the animal show the creeping movement over the substratum. Here this figure shows this is a substratum and the pseudopodia is attached to the substratum. This amoeboid individual which is having such this ectoplasm, then this is the plasma lemma, and these are the plasma gel which are present to these sides changing to the plasma soul, while at the anterior sides where this new pseudopodium is going to be formed, the plasma soul is going to convert or change into plasma gel, so it becomes somewhat stiff. Likewise, and it has the contracting tube of plasma gel. So this figure we show how the plasma soul is going to convert into plasma gel and the new pseudopodium is going to form, while in the posterior side the plasma gel convert into the plasma soul, so that the animal can again go to the side where this new pseudopodium is going to be formed, and this movement is carried out from 0.2 to 2 micron per second. So this speed varies, and the amoeboid movement is nothing but changes in colloidal protoplasm from a soul or fluid state to a gel or liquid state and vice versa, and with the help of this the animal can move or showing this amoeboid or creeping movement by forming the temporary outgrowth which is nothing but the pseudopodia. This whole process which is completed the 4 important stages. In first stage, plasma lemma attaches to the substratum. Then after attaching to the substratum, this plasma gel undergoes solution at posterior end. So this plasma gel undergoing the solution. Then plasma flows forward and undergoes gelation at the anterior end. So this plasma which flows and undergoes the gelation at anterior end. Then plasma gel at posterior end contracts. So likewise this whole process get completed. And earlier it was just considered that the imbibition, but later on this scientists Goldacre and Lorch they explain this movement or this soul gel theory on the basis of this molecular structures or the molecular movement, in which they show that the protoplasms which undergo solution when protein molecule folded and free, while the protoplasm gelates when protein molecule unfold and link. So likewise on the molecular basis also this theory is going to be proven with this Goldacre and Lorch, and the energy which required for this changing is taken ATP, which has been generally used by the higher individual, that is metazoan. So this is about the amoeboid movements. Amoeboid movement occurs with the help of this soul and gel theory. After amoeboid movement in the locomotion of protozoa, we will see the flagellar ciliary movement along with the metabolia or gliding which has been carried out with the myonemes. So first of all, we will see the flagellar movements. As you know very well, these flagellates, they may be 1 to 4 in number or up to 8 in number in some exceptional cases of flagellates. Elongated thread-like structures are of these flagella, and these flagella we generally move, and with the help of this performing two important strokes. One is called as the effective stroke and another is called as the recovery stroke. Of the movement in the flagella in the medium is carried out by the flagellar movement. These flagella which generally perform undulations, and these undulations are helping the individual to propel its body to the forward direction. In the effective stroke, these flagella which generally move forward direction and they are just rigidly hold into this ectoplasm, and later on this stroke is going to be produced, and this stroke is going to be produced so that the whole body is propelling to the forward direction, and at the same time flagella are again somewhat become relaxed so as to minimize the collision, or this flagella so as to minimize the hurdle, and they get their normal position, and automatically the individual go in forward direction. The undulation are carried out in a straight line or along the central axis so that the animal move to the forward direction. So this is about these two important strokes, this recovery stroke and effective strokes, by which the flagellates locomote. There is another kinds of the movement which has been shown. This is the simple flagellar movement by this monas individual. If we see this rapid locomotion by the undulation of whole flagellum. So this is the rapid locomotion. Whenever animal fastly swim into the water, it undulate the whole flagellum, and so as for fast swimming. And whenever it is in resting position or slow movement, then it slowly gliding by these undulations of only the tip of flagellum. Whenever the slow movement is, or the locomotion is carried out by individual, it only undulate the tip of flagellum. So this is difference between the rapid locomotion and this slow locomotion, and the rate of this swimming is varied from 15 micron to 300 micron per second in the flagellates by producing these kinds of the stroke. Similarly, like the flagellar stroke, that is effective and recovery, the ciliate which also move with this effective as well as recovery stroke by producing these undulations. So again they goes to the forward direction by producing such kinds of undulation. They are cilia, as you know, they are thousands in number, distributed equally all over the cell and embedded into this ectoplasm, and they are comes from the pellicle. For the purpose of movement or the locomotion, they produce this effective stroke so as to propel the body to forward direction, and again to go this cilia on the original position. So this is the recovery stroke, and this beating, or this is also called as the lashing of the cilia or the beating of cilia, these are not generally uniformly beaten or uniformly producing the same effective or recovery stroke. These kinds of the movement is carried out with this slow metachronous movement. This is the figure we show the single longitudinal row of cilia which showing the metachronous movement, and this metachronous movement which help this protozoan or the ciliate to move to the forward direction into the media. So this is the ciliary movement. Now if we see the metaboly or gliding, this metaboly or gliding, this is about the euglenoid type of the movement, or it is also called as the metaboly, in which the animal get generally somewhat get shrinks with this ectoplasms which containing the myonemes. So these myonemes are present into the ectoplasm, and these myonemes generally presents in case of metazoans, but these crystals of these myonemes which are present into the ectoplasms which help to get shrink the whole cell of the this euglenoid individual. Along with that, the elasticity of the pellicle which also help so that the animal can change the shape for some time, and later on it again become at its original place or original shape, and this is called as the euglenoid movements or the metaboly movements. This is performed metaboly or gliding carried out with the help of these myonemes. These are the special structures present into the ectoplasm. Whole this protozoan showing this amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, flagellar movements or this metaboly, the energy which has been produced or generally taken through the ATPs. So this is all about the locomotion in protozoa, which include the amoeboid locomotion, flagellar locomotion, ciliary locomotion, as well as the metaboly or gliding. Hope you understood all these points into locomotion in protozoa, and still you are having any doubt or query, please feel free to write into the comment box. And once again, thank you very much for watching the entire video.